Welcome back.
Yo, basically, good morning. Hey, Hydrate. What's up, Denali? Good to see you.
Welcome back.
Bye, guy. Yeah, how's it going, man? Nice. Very nice. Alright. And that seems to be working. Yes, it is. Let's go. Delete my message. Oh, man. Good to see everybody this morning. How's it going? Sorry, I'm running late. I got a little behind this morning. Yeah, I don't know how else to put it. I'm just doing my best here. There's a lot going on personally. Just things are happening, you know. How are you guys liking the Twitch vertical stream? I'm leaving it on for the time being. I'm hoping they don't get rid of it. I hope it's working well. I like having it. I'm thinking about reworking some of the vertical layout stuff just to work a little better. But it's kind of hard to accommodate 3 different vertical formats that kind of expect different things. I don't know what Twitch expects, honestly. I've tried figuring it out and messing with it some, but it's not super clear what I'm supposed to do, like what they want. I think it's just literally an option for the stream to show up. And so, yeah, I haven't really looked at, my own stream in the vertical format. But if you guys enjoy it that way, we're going to keep it on for the time being. We do have game news this morning. We're going to talk about quite a few things as we jump in, transition into that mode there, which I think is still, I don't know, it may still be on. I have no clue anymore. I was supposed to stream last night. I apologize for not. I just had a lot of work that I'm trying to get done before the weekend. And so I ended up working on that and then a video last night. If you guys caught the short I put out on, all the platforms that do vertical content that you might engage in. TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. And I guess also Facebook. Facebook viewership has been interesting because the reels are like taken off, but following, I'm going for more engagement than growing a following, but it's just been interesting. But yeah, I stayed and worked on that. I actually tried some new techniques to film that used my iPad as a monitor, so I could see my camera feed and use my back cameras better. And so I found that to be really interesting in how that worked. A lot of different stuff going on in my setup now that should make production a little faster for me. But anyway, you guys are here for game news, right? Let's talk about that. Let's jump into it. We got a few things to talk about. No major stories except, Nvidia just remains in the news for being annoying, I guess, is the news. Nvidia continues to annoy everybody. But let's move into news mode. I'm going to switch the playlist over as well. I need a Stream Deck key for playing a specific playlist, just so I can kick it off. That would be great. I had it with Spotify. I don't have it with Apple Music. And I wish I did. Okay, there we go. And news mode is enabled. Okay, and we're recording. Sweet. Welcome back to the Game News Show. We have quite a bit to talk about, just all over the industry. A couple leaks, couple changes. We also have some movie and TV show news. Apparently, yesterday was the day to announce those things. Our big story today is the ever changing Nvidia landscape. Whereas they shift over more to AI and away from consumer electronics, it seems. We had a stir up with the 5070 production that we'll get into, but let's start off with our first story here. Julian Garrity leaving Massive to work at Battlefield Studios. I found this to be kind of a surprise. So Massive Entertainment shared a message on social media confirming that Julian Garrity, executive producer on the Division franchise, is stepping down and transitioning to a new role at Battlefield Studios. This takes Garrity from Ubisoft to Electronic Arts, moving from one shooter series to another. Garrity has been at Ubisoft and Massive for more than 27 years and recently appeared in interviews talking about the future of the Division and making bold promises about the Division 3. So basically, we got a lot of news about the Division lately, and their executive producer's like, deuces. I say the shakeup with Ubisoft as a whole is enough motivation to get out before the ship sinks. But good on him. Battlefield probably, saw the Battlefield Studios saw some value in his work and was like, hey, come over here. We won't fire you yet. So, not that the guy's doing a bad job at Ubisoft and the Division's like in trouble. It's just Ubisoft as a whole is not seen in a positive light right now. And rightly so. Like, things are crazy. So, interesting nonetheless. All right, let's grab the next article. All right, Lego Zelda 2026 set leaks ahead of official reveal, and I'm tempted to scroll down and look at it. It's an Ocarina of Time based set, and I don't know. I'll leave it up to chat to decide, but do you guys want to go ahead and see it, or do we want to wait for the official reveal? I mean, it's Legos, who cares, right? But it's also a surprise. I don't know. Let's just look at it. We'll just look at it. If it's there. A new leak on BreakTap Discord reveals that the next set will feature Zelda Ocarina of Time Final Battle Ocarina of Time. Reported pricing for the set is $129.99. Hey, it's about where his Pokemon sets are. The set will feature 1,003 pieces, which will include Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf minifigs. It will also include Navi the Fairy, brick-built Ganon, the Megaton Hammer, and Recovery Hearts. The new LEGO Zelda set will seemingly release March 1st, 2026. The previous LEGO Zelda collaboration brought the Great Deku Tree 2-in-1 set featuring versions from Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild. It featured 2 minifigures of Link along with young Link and Princess Zelda. The set featured 2,500 pieces and was priced at $299. Oh, I guess they didn't share the picture. Okay. Well, that's cool. Exciting nonetheless, though. Can't wait to see what the set actually looks like. I was kind of hoping to see it today, but I guess, we'll get surprised at the beginning of March if it's real. Or maybe, like, the week before. I don't know. I'm interested because the Zelda Deku Tree set that came out last year did look really good. I kind of wanted it, but where am I going to put this stuff? Every time I look at something like this, I'm like, this is great, but where will it live in my house? Like, I don't have room for this. But anyway, let's move on. Maybe. We used to do that a lot. All right, this is a huge bummer, but New World Eternum to be taken offline next year. The time of New World Eternum is coming to an end. We reported on this, that the game, no new content was coming, and it would be taken offline after 2026. Well, Amazon gave us an update in a blog post on Thursday. Amazon Games announced that New World Eternum will be taken offline January 31st, 2027. From that point on, no one will be able to continue playing the game. With this announcement also comes the news that as of today, January 15th, which is yesterday, the game will be delisted and no longer available for purchase. If you already own the game, you can still play it and reinstall it as much as you want until January 31st, 2027 date arrives. I want to thank the players for your dedication and passion. We're grateful for the time spent crafting the world of Eternum with you. Together we built something special. While we're saddened to say goodbye, we're honored that we were able to share so much with the community. The article goes on. The end of New World comes after its development team was hit with layoffs back in October. At the time, the layoffs spanned across all of Amazon, including its game studios and Twitch. Let's see. This looks like a quote. I don't know. This is just kind of out of place. It's like a thank you. It's a bummer though. This game just dropped some like big new content. The console push last year, I think it was a big deal. Or maybe it was earlier last year. Anyway, it seemed like there was a lot of promise for this game. And layoffs at Amazon. I'm assuming the game wasn't selling as well as Amazon had hoped. But I don't know. It's a new IP, new ideas. It's a bummer that it's already being taken offline next year. We knew it was coming. It still doesn't make it any less of a bummer. All right, let's move on. Also, thanks for joining this morning, guys. I hope you're all having a great morning. Wherever you're watching from, appreciate it. Whatever platform, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, doesn't matter. Thanks for being here. X, I think we're on X too. All right, PlayStation has delisted over 1,000 shovelware games. 1,000. PlayStation's finally bringing the hammer down on shovelware developers with over 1,000 games delisted in the latest removal spree. The frequency of clone titles and shovelware games popping up in console game stores has increased in recent times, with players recently seeing a clone of Resident Evil called Ebola Village. Sorry, I wasn't ready for that one. Popping up on the PlayStation Store as well. We have seen many of these in the past and in other stores as well, such as a clone of The Last of Us, Gray Zone Warfare, and more. Now, PlayStation has removed all games of a major shovelware publisher from its store. Spotted by Rob Thanatos, PlayStation has delisted all games from The Games, a publisher of shovelware titles like Jumping Food Racer, Jumping Food Catcher, Jumping Orange, etc., each with multiple sequels. The Games had 1,194 games on the PlayStation Store, ranking 4th among publishers with the most games on PSN, falling short of only East Asia Soft 2018. I guess. Retalika Games 1279 and Webnetic with 1222. For those unaware, shovelware games are essentially low-quality games made to capitalize on a popular brand or trend, or to provide players an easier way to get their hands on trophies. The Games was definitely one of the publishers that was helping players get trophies more easily, with their social media promotions also targeting the trophy stacks and their games featured. It is speculated that this removal could be part of the joint partnership between Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony Interactive Entertainment, shared commitment to safer gaming. There was an update on that. I just didn't think that. It wasn't really news. I don't know. I didn't read it. It didn't seem like news when it came out. Anyway. Another news, PlayStation Plus games catalog, classics catalog. Okay, that's the end of the article. Anyway, kind of funny. All those games getting delisted. It's about time though. You browse the PSN or Nintendo eShop, and it's like, oh, what is this? And then Xbox also had a bunch. I don't know if they've done anything about it, but I will say, it does get annoying trying to browse for like significant stuff on any of these game stores, and you just gotta go through the slop and slog through actual trash. It's like, do you guys remember the $5 DVD bin at Walmart? It might be beyond some of you, and I'm an old man, I guess, but it was like going through that to find a good movie. There were some movies in there, but you had to dig through a bunch of crap to find a good movie. Anyway, let's move on. All right, SEGA announces Sonic 35th anniversary plans to celebrate Sonic's legacy. I'm really digging the 35th anniversary logo. I love the blue and green. It's a good color combo. Sonic's 35th will be marked with a museum pop-up, a podcast, and more. They had a video. Let's watch the video. And hope we don't get copy strike. I like that they're like leaning all in on the movies.
Let's do it.
Also, this remix is pretty good.
When we join forces, the sky's the limit.
It's not over, Sonic. Attack! This ends now.
It still blows my mind that Keanu Reeves was Shadow the Hedgehog. That's a real sentence that we say with confidence.
Road trip? Woo-hoo! Try to keep up.
Anywho, that was a nice little hype trailer. And we're incredibly proud to celebrate 35 years of our beloved Sonic franchise with our fans, said Marcella Churchill, VP of SEGA Brand Marketing. This milestone is not just a reflection of our past, but also a look towards the future as we continue to innovate and grow. We want to bring our community together and create memorable experiences for all of our fans throughout 2026. The original Sonic the Hedgehog is released on Sega Genesis North America June 23rd, 1991, with releases on the Mega Drive in Japan and Europe the following month. Sonic himself is a little older. He first appeared as a dangling ornament hanging from the rearview mirror in Sega's arcade game, racing game Radmobile, which was released in February 1991. The game was an immediate success and quickly cemented Sega's 16-bit console as a real contender in the console war with the SNES. Yeah, if you were a Sega kid, you had Sonic. But anyway, I'm excited to see what's going on this year. Just a lot of things coming. I don't know if there's any new games coming this year, but we'll probably get a trailer. They really haven't lined up the Sonic anniversaries like they did for the 10th when they did Sonic Adventure 2 on the 10th anniversary, like that year, and all the marketing and everything lined up. Since then, it's been kind of a mishmash of, well, it's close enough, we'll do it. I guess they tried with Sonic 06, but we saw how that game turned out. Which is still ongoing. Once we hit 1,000 Twitch followers, I'm gonna play Sonic 06, like unmodded OG version on stream for you guys, and it'll be fun. I will suffer through Sonic 06 on stream. But anyway, it's cool. I'm excited. It's weird to think the Sonic franchise is 35, but All right, Super Nintendo World's getting an upgrade for its 5th anniversary, which is weird to think. It's only been out less than a year, almost a year here in the United States. But Universal Studios Japan will celebrate the Nintendo theme park's birthday with special merchandise, food, and more. Nintendo's original Super Nintendo World theme park in Osaka, Japan is turning 5 this year, and it's announced a range of activities to mark the anniversary. From March 18th until January 11th, March 18th, 2026 until January 11th, 2027, Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Japan will be decorated for its 5th anniversary, including a star-studded cake at its entrance. That's kind of cool. Let's see, it will host a special Star Hunt activity, which has featured performances by costume characters Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and friends, as visitors search for missing superstars. See, that's just a recap. Anyway, that's super cool. It's weird to think that it's been out 5 years already. It literally opened during, or the year at, like, in the middle of the COVID, like, crisis. Yeah, that's insane. But now it's 5 years and they're still doing well. They're opening up around the world. Anyway. All right. Animal Crossing. The new update dropped yesterday. I did download it and check it out. The loading times on the Switch 2 are very nice. So just the time saved not waiting for it to load is great. Animal Crossing New Horizons version 3.0 update has added more improvements beyond what was announced. Numerous quality of life features have been added in the latest major patch, which is a huge deal, right? Let's see. Version 3.0 is a free update, separate to the paid Nintendo Switch 2 Edition upgrade. It's $5, by the way, which adds numerous new features to both Switch and Switch 2 versions of the game. These include a resort hotel where players decorate rooms for visiting guests, An island reset service, a slumber island where players can build and design new lands without messing up their main island, which I think is kind of cool, and various collaborations with Nintendo and Lego IP. The update's patch notes, however, reveal that version 3.0 also contains a number of new quality of life additions beyond what was previously announced. This includes such new features as the ability to craft up to 10 items at once. I'm so glad bulk crafting is a thing, because that was one of my biggest pain points, especially starting a new island, is it takes forever to build some of the base stuff. Use items from home storage as DIY materials and order Super Mario Brothers items without linking to a Nintendo account, which is actually kind of cool because I think you had to have like a specific setup to do it. Let's see. Features exclusive to the Switch 2 edition include improved resolution up to 4K when playing on TV, mouse controls for decorating rooms and creating custom designs, a megaphone which lets players call residents by their name, and 12-player online sessions with camera support. I feel like the megaphone is kind of funny if like you have a resident in their house and you don't know where they are. You can just like, hey, we know where you are. We have the place surrounded. You know, like then they would come running. That would be really funny. Full patch notes. All right, this is what I wanted to see. What else did they announce? Previously announced new content features have been added. Craft up to 10 items at once if you have enough materials. Items stored in your home storage can now be used as DIY materials. The DIY recipes app now includes a page where you can check hotel DIY requests and items requested by Tom Nook as you progress through the game. Items obtained by linking with Animal Crossing Pocket Camp can now always be ordered from Nook Shopping. That's a cool thing that, you know, Pocket Camp isn't really a thing anymore. You can play it on your phone. I think it's like a $12 game. If I remember right. It may be delisted. I don't know. Who knows what they're doing? But instead of just locking it away forever, it's now available for everyone to be able to get. Anyway, Mario Brothers items can now be ordered from Nook Shopping without linking to a Nintendo account. While outdoors on an island, holding down the L button allows you to move while facing the same direction, which is kind of nice. When changing the island tune to resident services, Isabelle will now suggest recommended melodies, including the original island tune. That's cool. When changing the island flag at resident services, you can now revert it to the original design from when the island was created. Also very cool. You can purchase up to 50 customization kits at once from Nook's Cranny. Several items, including snowflakes, can now be sold at the drop-off box at Nook's Cranny. You will receive a pearl every time you give a scallop to Pascal. Okay, that's actually really nice. I didn't know that was a thing. You can now ask Leaf to remove weeds when there are 30 or more weeds on your island, either on Harv's island or during his visits. The fee for asking Leaf to remove weeds has been reduced. New tips have been added to the Island Life 101 app. Additional Nook Miles tasks have been added alongside new features, which makes sense. The order of some collaboration items has been updated in the catalogs used for photo studios and hotel decorating. Other adjustments and corrections were made to improve gameplay experience. Switch 2 fixed an issue where the startup sound for Nook Shopping on smartphone will not play correctly. Nook Link, which is the phone app for your actual phone, added new articles to the island newspaper. The catalog now supports items added in version 3.0. But that's cool. They did add quite a bit to the game. I was surprised that they did a 3.0 update at all. It kind of felt like Nintendo had moved on completely from Animal Crossing. But as someone who played a lot of it when it came out and ended up buying not one, but 2 extra Switches. So 1 Switch for my wife so she could have her own island and we play together. And then I bought my daughter a Switch Lite for her birthday that came with Animal Crossing because she also wanted her own island. The game has been, kind of significant for my household. We used to play it a lot. Now we play it almost none. But maybe with this 3.0 update, we'll get back on it. Exciting nonetheless. If you're an Animal Crossing fan, there's a lot to dig through and mess with, which is super cool. All right. Final Fantasy VII Remake, PS5, and PC are getting the streamlined progression features coming to Switch 2 and Xbox. And so the game comes out on Xbox and Switch, I think next week. Nintendo and Microsoft's consoles will be getting the game next week on January 22nd, with both versions getting new assist features. Streamlined progression fully maxes out a player's HP and MP, essentially ensuring they can't die. It also sets the damage dealt to every enemy to 9,999, making battles far quicker, and gives players the maximum number of every item where possible. Essentially, the features are an optional way for players to explore the game and its story even if they don't like the combat or find it too difficult. Now, Square Enix has announced that the existing PS5 and PC versions of Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate will be getting a free update on January 22nd, which also adds the streamlined progression features to those versions too. Which is very interesting. I did not know those were an option. And you can download the demo. That's cool, I guess. I guess it's like playing on like easy mode. If you just want the narrative, you don't want to actually play through the game, there's your option, you know? See, that's better than letting AI do it. Just make it so easy that you can't fail. Right? Like, just do that instead. Interesting nonetheless. I didn't know what these features were. I didn't know what this streamlined progression should have just been called easy mode. But anyway, let's move on. All right, this is the article I was trying to find on Wednesday's game news to talk about from the GOG owner, the new guy that, well, the new old guy that bought it because he founded CD Projekt, but now he owns it himself. Anyway, he's quoted as saying it's such poor quality software. GOG owner criticizes Windows, says it will support Linux better in the future. So the new owner of PC game store GOG.com has criticized the Windows ecosystem and suggested the store will support Linux owners better in the future. Last month, CD Projekt sold GOG.com to its founder, Michael Kaczynski, who bought 100% of the shares for $25.2 million. In an interview with PC Gamer, Kaczynski managing director Maciej Golbiewski, I'm doing my best here, asked whether GOG had plans to focus more on Linux going forward, given a growth in pro-Linux and anti-Windows sentiment among some PC players. Yes, we are, G-Man replied, stating that Linux was one of the things that we put in our strategy for this year to look closer at. I don't want to commit to any specifics, but certainly you will see this trend, and we will also see that Linux is close to the hearts of our users, so we probably could do better on that front, and that's something we'll be looking at, he added. Kaczynski then addressed the current state of Windows, saying he was really surprised that it continues to hold such a large market share despite its issues. It's such poor quality software and product, and I'm so surprised that it's spent so many years on the market, he said. I can't believe it. Kaczynski added, while he mostly uses a Mac now, I sometimes have to fix my mom's computer or my father's computer with Windows, and it's unbelievable. So I'm not surprised that people gravitate outside of Windows ecosystem. It's not the best. As someone who used to be a diehard Windows user, jumping over to Mac has been kind of refreshing. My main machine, this machine that I'm streaming off of, is still a Windows machine, and that's not going to change anytime soon. But I have very much liked using Mac outside of my office. It's been very nice, and I'm tempted to, if I wasn't waiting on the Steam machine, I would be tempted to grab a Mac Mini and make that like my stream machine. But now, I can look at that Steam machine as my. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Point is, Windows is falling down very fast, and it's the constant push with AI features, Copilot features, metadata being farmed, like user actions, and all the things that they're capturing and farming from their users is also very frustrating. There's ways to turn it off, but the everyday user could very badly mess up their machine. Not permanently, but lose data, kind of mess up, and have to reinstall Windows from scratch to fix it. And so, yeah, with that, I am also tempted, to move to Linux for my main machine if everything I use daily moves over nicely. And so far, that's not the case. There's quite a few things that I use that there's just not good software for it yet on Linux, or the Linux version is close but still not fully featured. And so I'm still kind of holding out in Windows land for the time being. But yeah, I'm not surprised. It's nice to see someone with a little more influence on the gaming side be able to call it out. And I think Steam's work on Bazite and their investment into just the Linux ecosystem is definitely going to help push people away from Windows. And I'm ready to see it happen. I'm ready to see it happen because, you know, Windows 7 was so good, and then Windows 10 was a good fix after 8, and then now we're just kind of stuck with 11, which started off great but has progressively gotten worse and worse. So, you know, hopefully it gets better. If not, we'll all just move to Linux and be happy. All right, mystery product code sparks rumors of a new Switch 2 model. I thought this was interesting. I didn't know we were looking at model numbers again, but here we are. Right, folks, get ready to follow this one either under or because an unusual discovery on Nintendo's official website has got folks chatting about a potential new Switch 2 model. Discovery comes via Blue Sky user Dutski, who notes that a new product code labeled OSM can be uncovered on the Nintendo account portal page. They state that requesting the OSM product code returns an image of the Switch 2, while folks over on Reset Era claim that any other code results in an error message. Dutski, his post says, I think I've discovered something interesting, but I have no idea what it implies. On the Nintendo account portal, there's an unused model code under the name OSM. The Switch 2's model code is BEE. The portal has images for each Switch model. Requesting OSM returns an image of a Switch 2. Interesting. So what does this mean? Are we due a new Switch 2 model already? Well, no, hold your horses. In a follow-up post, Dudesky quite rightly states that the original Switch models, i.e. Light, OLED, etc., all had similar product codes. HAE, HAD, HDH, and HEG. The BEE product code for the Switch 2 shares no similarities with OSM. That's not to rule out a new model entirely, but Dusky makes it clear we shouldn't jump to any conclusions just yet. For one, today marks 1 year since the Switch 2 was officially revealed to the world, so can we really expect a new model anytime soon? Our gut says no. Still, it's interesting nevertheless. It's obviously something. Nintendo doesn't just come up with new product codes for no reason. What it could be is anybody's guess. And that's, you know, that's the point. Like, Nintendo's got some stuff to announce this year, I'm sure. Is it new hardware? Doubt. But I think, you know, given the trajectory the Switch 2 sales are on, if the market can level out, a Switch 2 Lite shouldn't be out of the question. You know, maybe a non-handheld version of the Switch 2 where it's just a console-only approach is in the works. That's what a lot of us have wanted, right? So I could see there's a lot of hardware they could be releasing. There's a lot of options. I mean, just an OLED model would be interesting. But who knows? It's definitely a mystery, right? And that was posted like just this morning. So I'm glad we were able to catch it and feature it here. But weird, right? Weird. All right. Where are we at here? Oh, yes. Okay, now our cover story, our title story today. Nvidia 5070 Ti GPU has been killed off due to supply shortage report. Nvidia has reportedly ended production of its GeForce RTX 5070 Ti, with ASUS indicating the mid-range GPU is now effectively end of life. Information was shared by ASUS with hardware unboxed, as ASUS said Nvidia has created a supply shortage for the 5070 Ti, leaving partners unable to source new stock. As one of Nvidia's largest add-in board partners, ASUS said it understands the card is no longer being produced, moving it to end of life. With little to no stock available, RTX 5070 Ti prices have risen sharply in multiple regions, raising questions over whether the GPU will return to shelves at all. ASUS also suggested a similar situation is developing for the RTX 5060 Ti 16GB model. Production resources are reportedly being shifted towards the 8GB version instead. Stock of the 16GB model has been declining across retailers and distributors, with prices beginning to reflect the shortage. The change is being linked to ongoing memory supply issues. According to ASUS, the wider DRAM shortage has affected GDDR7 graphics memory as well. Because of this, Nvidia is expected to continue prioritizing lower capacity GPUs in the short term. Recent industry chatter has also pointed to the standard RTX 5060 becoming Nvidia's main focus in this segment. So very similar to what AMD spent a long time doing, focusing on the mid-range, but this time it's out of pure necessity because it requires less RAM to produce. The company also addressed rumors of an RTX 50 series Super refresh that was previously expected to launch around CES. ASUS said that while a CES launch was originally planned, it was postponed, and there are currently no plans for a refresh. The delay is reportedly tied to the lack of high-capacity GDDR7 memory, with some add-in board partners said to be frustrated by the sudden change. And so, yeah, you know, been killed off, right? Like, that's the news as of yesterday. And then we get an update. ASUS now claims it's not dropping the 5070 Ti amid memory shortages. The GPU market is turning into a mess again. ASUS told Hardware Unboxed earlier this week it was winding down production of its RTX 5070 Ti, but the PC maker is now walking back that claim and blaming incomplete information from its own ASUS PR representatives. The 5070 Ti and 5060 Ti have not been discontinued or designated as end of life, says an ASUS statement. ASUS has no plans to stop selling these models. That's quite the opposite of what ASUS told Hardware Unboxed, with the YouTube channel reporting that ASUS explicitly told us this model is currently facing a supply shortage, and as such, they've placed the model into end-of-life status. The full timeline from Hardware Unboxed of how this mess has unfolded. That's a lot of words. So the point is, ASUS kind of jumped the gun, maybe made some assumptions. I don't know. But, hey, Brent, good to see you. But they first tell people, hey, it's done. They're not making any more 5070s. This price goes up, you know, whatever. And then now it's like, oh, wait, we misspoke. We were wrong. It's not end of life. It's just hard to get. And it's like, well, what's the difference? Like, if you can't make it, you can't make it. If it's hard to get, it might as well not exist, right? The problem is the existing stock will probably triple in price thanks to scalping and other stuff. Kind of funny because your 4070 isn't even that old. That's how I feel. I mean, I got my 4070 Ti Super, and I'm like, all right, that's gotta last me. And now I'm like, oh wait, it will last me. Like, just looking at the feature set and everything, we're good to go. But yeah, so a lot of confusing things out there about the availability of the 5070 Ti and even 5060. Apparently, it's just hard to get. We're back in the GPU shortages, like in the during COVID, where all the components were hard to get a hold of, just because people were buying up everything. Crypto miners were going nuts. All of it was just a big mess, and now we're in a big mess again thanks to AI. Thanks, AI. All right, let's move on. This isn't really game news, but I thought it was worth talking about and celebrating. Dave Filoni and Lin-Wen Brennan to co-lead Lucasfilm after Kathleen Kennedy steps down. Can we just get a round of applause for that? Just Dave Filoni leading Lucasfilm is a welcome change. And I'll leave it at that. No matter your opinion on modern Star Wars, it looks like a bright future. But speaking of movies and stuff, Amazon has revealed a first look at Sophie Turner as Lara Croft in the new Prime Video Tomb Raider series. Apparently the picture didn't load, which is weird. There we go. Live action Tomb Raider series. It looks like Lara Croft. A lot of people have complaints, but I feel like the internet's just going to complain. Doesn't look bad. Looks more true to the games than Angelina Jolie ever did. And I'll leave it at that. And then we also got Ryan Hurst announced as the actor for Kratos in the upcoming God of War series coming to Amazon Prime Video, which is pretty cool. I don't know the guy, but I'm excited to see what they do with the God of War series. More so than Tomb Raider, personally. Excuse me. So yeah, a little bit on the movies there. So just ask AI to fix the GPU shortage. I mean, we should. We really should. All right, do we have anything else? Nope, that's it. That's it for the game news. We did it. We made it. All right. Well, that's it as we go into the weekend. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching on the VOD if you're watching after the fact. If you're watching live, thanks for hanging out. Be sure to leave a like and a comment on the YouTube video. And yeah, that's it. Have a great weekend. All right. What's up, Grim? Good to see ya. Oh, dude, I am winding down, but I'm not ending the whole just yet. Stream early for you? I'm doing good, man. Well, currently I'm dying, apparently. I don't know. Coughing up a lung here. I was trying to, like, get away from that before I, closed out the video and stopped recording. Anyway, welcome. How are you, Grim? Good to see you. Happy New Year. Don't forget, I've also got the Gaming Roundtable podcast. Yeah, 2026 died of death. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I got the Gaming Roundtable podcast later today. I'll be on over on Ginger Prime's channels. It's a very fun Friday show that we do. So young, only less than 1 year old. Yeah, true facts. Let's minimize that. But anyway, what's everybody got for the rest of their day as I wind things down here? I probably should just check in with work and just stream till the podcast time. No, I'm just kidding. I can't do that. I've got a ton of work to get to. But Grim, how's your year going? How's everything going for you guys over in your neck of the woods? And Denalid, I feel like I haven't talked to you in like forever, man. Is everything going good with you? While I'm getting ready to shut things down, I need to find somebody to raid. Raids on the morning streams have been harder to do because I end at a weird time. And most people start at like a normal time. Sorry, following up on a thing. Alright, let's see. I've been really busy. Had like 6 Christmas things. Just got back last night from a work trip. Ooh, fun. All those things were good, though. Excellent. Year has been phenomenal. Nothing bad to complain about yet. That's good. That's always a good outlook. Well, good. Things have been going good here, too. Alright. I do have to go, though. I do got to go check in with work and get things started for the day. So let's find somebody. Went to Phoenix for the first time? Interesting. Imagine going to Arizona on purpose. Been a long time and I read to change your profile picture name, but yeah. Nice new beard, way longer to remember. FCB, welcome. What was your name before you changed it? I'd love to remember. Apparently the mall's like twice the size of Dallas Galleria. That's insane. We went to the Houston Galleria last year, and that was big. That was like wild. Let's see who we're gonna send it to. Is it GCG? It's probably a good clean gamer. Actually, I wonder, can I do it this way? Alright, see you. Sorry I popped over as you wanted down. Up next time, stream will be there. Unless the day has something. Hey, Grim, no worries, dude. I'm glad you stopped in. It's good to see you. Fancy Orbit. Oh, okay. I do remember you. Welcome back, dude. Miss Denalid says good morning. Hey, Mrs. Denalid. Good morning to you as well. Alright, I'm going to try to do this raid command a little different than I normally do. Just to see if it works, because it will save me so much time if it actually works. I don't know if it actually did it, but anyway. Alright, it worked. Sweet. Alright, well, y'all have a great day. Love you. God bless. And I will see you guys on Sunday. Have a good weekend.
Old Dak ramen, boil the noodles, add sauce, peanut butter, toss